1, 2, 3, go!
Waking up in a dream, sleepwalking on another big stage. You never heard peace till you hear people scream.
Oh, yeah.
Hey. Howdy.
Well,
Haven't seen us in about a year, have you?
the last time we've uploaded real podcast content was December 13th in 2020.
And it's crazy because 2020 really won.
How has 2020 really won?
2021. 2021.
I thought I was supposed to be the one with the awkward dad jokes, but 2021, new year, new Emery, I guess. So he's doing things, but have y'all missed us, man?
They don't need to
been a long
answer that.
time.
It's obvious, right?
Me and
This is when they talk. Reply.
comment right now.
Right. Yeah,
What-
they did.
I mean, probably what they're saying is, "Oh my God, guys, we missed you so much." I mean, me and Emery have both
Stop the
talked to
flattery.
y'all during the break. As you know, we couldn't record because I quarantined, and then we had Christmas and holiday stuff.
Yeah.
So now we're just getting back into things, and me and Emery both had like things to work on and stuff like that. So now we're finally able to podcast. But I'll promise you this: after this whole session and this, I guess, time in which we weren't able to work hard, we've been really thinking about the podcast, and we're going to start getting out a lot more content. So the turnaround for podcasts is going to be a lot quicker. I want to start doing some weeks where we upload 2 episodes.
Let's do a cut
But-
here. Are we recording right now?
Oh, yes, we are. We are.
Oh, John.
We are recording. We are recording. Thank goodness. It just didn't start at the beginning. I'll edit that out.
All right.
Okay. So, where were we?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
we really want to start uploading 2 episodes a week. No, I was laughing. We really want to start we really want to we really we really want to start uploading 2 episodes a week. Man, you guys really knocked me off my rhythm.
Hey,
but we're excited to get. Wait,
We're going to get all the content out to you guys. What?
I forgot to say my infamous saying. Episode 12, baby.
Let's go!
Go.
Let's get it.
You already know what's going
we
on.
forgot. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, Happy
let's
New
keep
Year,
it rolling.
Happy Hanukkah, or
Let's keep it rolling.
whatever else you desire to celebrate.
Today is a special day, not because you guys get to see the return of us, which I know is making your heart skip a beat right now.
Oh, yeah.
But we have an iconic Enlightened blood brother, in my case at least, guest starring this episode. Would you enter the scene? We got
Man.
Breezy in the building.
They already know what it is. What's up, y'all?
Enlightened brother and fellow YouTuber. You
So-
know, we all making moves out here. Come on.
Tell the audience what's your name, man.
All right, my name is Ernie. I go to University of Central Florida, and I'm a biomedical science major.
Yes, sir.
Why are you giving your resume? Just tell them about you.
Hey.
Well, who's looking?
All right, so we asked this. I asked this to every guest episode. This is our now 4th guest episode, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm who I aspire to be.
Who you aspire to be?
I aspire to be the best version of myself I can every day.
I like that. I like that. I like that. All right.
I taught him that.
So yeah, if it's unclear now, Ernie is Emery's brother.
Little bro.
Wow. Okay. Man, is there any more pleasantries we can get into, or do we just start,
I
chewing
think-
the fat?
I think they're going to have enough pleasantries watching us the entire episode, so let's just get into it.
All right, man. Yeah, enough of this. It's content time, baby. Emery,
Start it off.
take it away.
Now, as I'm sure you guys are already aware, and I'm sure the rest of the world is already aware, havoc has been wrecking in the United States. Last week, the Capitol got stormed. The Capitol of the United States got stormed by No, I won't even call them protesters. Rioters, looters, stealing podiums from the Speaker of the House.
How much is the podium being sold for?
I saw a listing that was over $100,000.
Oh my
I
God.
saw that one too on
And
eBay.
you know, if
It was on
I
eBay.
doubt these are authentic, but if these listings are authentic, how dumb can you get? I mean, go on the deep web, try flipping it, or disassemble it and sell numerous pieces of it, which I'm sure people would buy. But selling a whole podium
For only 100,000, look,
Only 100,000.
I would have sold that thing for a lot more than 100 grand, dude.
But no. In the first place, it should have been taken.
Oh, absolutely.
And
As an American, I am embarrassed of what has happened.
First things first, I want to address how the rioting was addressed by the police compared to the rioting that was committed over the Black Lives Matter protest in the past.
Absolutely.
And the backlash to this was almost non-existent, which really baffled me. What do you guys think about it?
Go ahead, Ernie.
Yeah. I say, like, seeing what I saw on the news and stuff, like how the police acted during Black Lives Matter protests and how the police acted during these riots at the Capitol last week, you could tell the police were more relaxed. And I was looking around and people were saying, like, if those were black people, you think they would have reacted like that? They wouldn't be as relaxed. The security wouldn't have been, like, as low. There would have been more violence on the police's part to the protesters, and that's not right.
So there's two angles to this. There's the angle from the black community, and we see how, or even colored people in general, we see how we're treated differently. We see how, because multiple groups of people have done some form of protest or some sort of gathering, and in our case, we get maced and we get beaten. For decades, maybe centuries. Yeah, for sure centuries. We've been getting beaten down and, just, I guess, mitigated with relentless intent. They just didn't care about our well-being. But you see in this instance, they're able to just, kind of do what they want. And it's sad to see that image, that it shows the true division and the true inequality in our country. And the other angle, and I heard this on a podcast this morning, the only saving grace to that is that they possibly could have been ready for it. And you could still call
definitely
it,
could have.
Yeah, you could still call it inequality, but you could have said some form of higher power said, let him in, don't shoot, all of this stuff. And you could still have the angle that if it was the case of a black group or a colored group fighting for something, those higher orders could have been give them a hard time. I was about to say a curse word, but like shoot them down basically. But it could be the possibility that their orders were to just stand by.
And we saw all of this coming. Really, today's the 10th. Am I right?
Today's the 9th.
The 9th. So yesterday, we're recording this on the 9th. Yesterday, on the 8th, President Trump's Twitter got permanently suspended for his tweets that really promote all these hate crimes. Well, I won't call them hate crimes. Excuse me. All this retaliation from his supporters, and I can assure you that it was Trump supporters that were carrying out all these things at the Capitol. But we really saw all the things leading up to this with their radical tweets, all their comments being extreme, and just going hard for their president that's about to leave office. Like, they're still claiming that this election was rigged, and Trump, he really wanted to gain over Georgia, and there was that leaked audio tape of him saying that
To find votes?
Yeah, find votes.
Wow.
Like,
I never even heard of that.
I think it was like around 12,000 votes.
Yeah.
But like,
So were these Proud Boys, QAnon? Do we know who these people were?
I'm sure there were a little bit of them, all of them sprinkled in there somewhere.
And
But I can tell you who these people were.
what?
They were dummies, because they popping up into the Capitol, no masks, like. First of all, we in a pandemic. But second of all, you're gonna commit a federal crime and you're not hiding your face.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm not
For
out
sure.
here to give crime tips, but what are you doing?
I mean, you should have came with a mask on.
What's wrong with
the
you?
dude that stole the podium was posing like.
Yeah, they just had, like, they did not care, bro.
There,
At all.
There's so many angles to this, though. There's the angle of the political state that we're in, and how the radical groups sort of drive everything we see in the media, on social media. We talked about the social dilemma, and how the algorithms basically are dictating what we think about the world. This is what's withering away our democracy. There's so many factors, and me and Emery both take government. We see how democracy is going to unfold and eventually lead to its own demise. But it's being catalyzed by the algorithms basically dictating who and what people are thinking about. And it's unfortunate to see that the majority of the people in America have sort of moderate views, but what's being monetized is radical views and content. Media, the only way their goal as a business is to make money.
Yeah.
And that's a rightful thing as a business. Ernie knows that. But what they're monetizing, what's monetized in our current like state is conflict, is just chaos. And they're profiting off the chaos. It's absolutely insane. But along this topic, and how sort of radical views are just more shown than the moderate views, not only is this bad within America, it's bad within the whole world. I always talk about globalization, and there's all these different races, but unifying under the human race and becoming a multiplanetary species. That's my goal. But all the other countries are looking at us like, these guys are crazy.
I don't think it would be wrong to say that. Now, let me not sound too cocky, speaking from an American's point of view, but other countries really idealized how things were going in America.
Oh, yeah.
And wanted to, like, structure their societies along the same way how ours was running.
Absolutely.
But nowadays,
we're number one, baby. It's America.
Nowadays, now, I don't got as much American pride as Caleb here. But nowadays, that ideal of the United States, like I said this in one of our podcasts last year, that the United States is not united whatsoever.
Absolutely not.
But, you know, this idealization of a United States is really diminishing as time goes on.
The true underlying evil behind this is binary divisiveness. Everybody that's...
Hey. Definition, please.
Explain.
Okay, so binary,
Explain.
binary as in two groups,
Right.
Bi. Yeah. So, and then divisiveness as in division. So, what this binary divisiveness is all these radical people feel like they're in a fight of good versus evil. If you're one of these Trumpians, you're fighting against the establishment, against the people that are trying to put Biden in
the Democrats.
office, the Democrats. If you're a socialist or some person that's on the right, you just assume that everybody for Trump is bad. And I don't blame them. I do blame them, but you also can't blame them because of the algorithm. What the algorithm is showing them is that all Trump supporters are these people that stormed the Capitol, when it could possibly be that the majority of Trump supporters, we have friends that are Trump supporters, and they're perfect. They're almost just like us.
Yeah.
They're in the same class as us. They kind of function from a larger scope. They're the same people as us. And not all Trump supporters are like that, but that's what I'm saying. It's the algorithm is just pumping in these. It's giving people less options to know about the world. And I want to talk about free will later in the episode, but you can only choose from the options that you have.
Yeah.
You can only choose from the options.
What's the difference between a liberal and a conservative?
All right. So first of all, a liberal is a person far to the left. A Democrat, they're just like they have just radical democratic views, and a conservative is somebody far to the right, which is a Republican, and it's like they just like. When you're in a political party, you could be like moderates in that party. So like even if you're a Democrat or Republican, you could still like have views that like flip flop on both sides. But like basically the easiest way to explain it is conservatives, they're like basically like really Republican, and liberals are really Democrat.
So would you agree with the notion that conservatives are not as open to change as liberals are?
Conservatives are not as open to change as liberals are.
Because what I'm seeing
that's
now,
deep.
what I'm seeing nowadays is, I think everybody is accepting of change, but some more extreme than others.
Or it might be like everybody's accepting of change, but not the change the other side wants to execute it.
What the strength of the liberals is that they've attached themselves to all of the marginalized groups. All the people, well, not all of them, but a lot of the people, especially colored people or disabled people, and because that's liberal views are government helping more people. Yeah. So all the people that feel like that they have been wronged sort of attach themselves to the Democratic side. Yeah. So that's why it might give the illusion as if they are more open to change. But I'm willing to say that it seems as if everybody's the same, because at the same time we still have these hierarchical tendencies. There's still people that drive the political parties. But I remember on the first time we talked about politics that we both kind of agreed in the sentiment that political parties were bad. But I've kind of been open. My eyes have kind of been opened a little bit And political parties are, as our government teachers would say, a necessary evil. So now we just need it. Whenever I approach any problem, whenever it's a problem within physics, or in this case politics, I try to go down to the fundamental reasoning, the fundamental, I guess, the place in which all of this stuff propagates from.
Yeah.
So this issue with the political parties and stuff, it's mindset. It's people wanting to be above others.
Yeah.
So we need the parties are necessary, but we need more rational and ethical people within them.
My thing is the promotion of this terminology being used to categorize people is really placing them into boxes. And I don't think like a conservative would be viewed as self-indulgent and not willing to devote their vote to give to others, and whereas a liberal is somebody that's empathetic and feels for others and wants to give to them. But is there really an ideal human who contains both of those traits that is displayed? My thing is there is nobody that's completely empathetic, and there's nobody that's completely self-indulged.
That's what I'm saying. It all lands somewhere in the middle.
Right. And yeah,
Gray areas.
The person
I mean, this structure might be like the only rational thing that can be carried out to keep an order between the ideals that people have, but I don't think it's the best option, and I don't know if we found that option yet.
I mean, what do you think?
Because I wanted to hear what you said,
no,
because
okay.
like you were about to.
Oh yeah, no. I just, I don't know. I'm really just trying to wrap my head around this whole situation. It's truly a difficult thing, because the person you're trying to categorize is more of like a moderate person who takes in their own self, and who also takes in who's a bridge between conservative and liberalism. But I was thinking about this earlier in the week, but when it comes to voting, I wonder what's more effective. Voting for the greater good, so if everybody voted for what they think that everybody would want, or voting for your own self-interest. In those votes, the entire voting pool represents what the American people actually want. I wonder which one's better.
Based off of that, I would feel like I don't know, I might be wrong, but like I feel like based on the whole Democratic and Republican ideology, I feel like Democrats vote for the greater good.
Yes.
Republicans vote for their own personal benefits.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because we do say self-care is the best care.
Right.
But you can only care for yourself. Like you're affected by your surroundings. So if the world's burning down, like literally, can you continue to be that happy, same smiling person? No, you can't.
But at the same time, within the conservatism, which is why sometimes I sort of, because I know I'm smack dab in the middle. I'm trying to figure out which lane to go into.
Yeah.
But I find myself on the conservative side sometimes when it comes to that. So even though you more so think about yourself, you also believe in yourself more than the government. So like, a lot of people complain like, where's all this tax money going, right?
Yeah.
I don't see it. I'm paying all these taxes. My community is still garbage. What's going on? Where are all these taxes going? The conservative point of view is, look, let us keep the money, and we as the American people will deal with that. So it is looking at yourself, but it's also outlooking and like on the business side. If your business keeps more money, you're able to affect more people.
Yeah.
Going into another thing, because this is a really great discussion, but recently I looked on the news and I'm like, they're trying to impeach Trump again. And I'm like, why would they do that? Because he has 11 more days left in his presidency. But then I realized that
I never heard of this.
he can still be reelected. And I was like, why did I ever think that?
Okay.
And it's dumbfounding to me that they would try to Trump would try to get reelected after all this with the Capitol, everything that's been happening over the past 4 years. I just don't think the American people would go for it, and I don't think it would be worth it for him.
Well, I think his reputation is also a little bit destroyed. When we look back on presidents like Andrew Jackson or Abraham Lincoln or something like that, unless you're a hardcore politician or government person, you sort of attach every president like one sentence, right? We kind of just summarize every president in the past with one sentence. And I mean, what Trump, regardless of maybe the good things that he could have done economically and stuff like that, Now what he'll be remembered as is chaos, is the capital. That's what he's going to be remembered as continuing this division. But I read in an article earlier this week is that Trump isn't the virus. Trump was created by the virus, which is, I mean, obviously he has done bad things and he's driven the division, but the chaos was already starting before him. We were already driving away from each other as a society before then. I don't know, man. I think there's nothing that's going to unify us like some aliens, though. We find those aliens, we'll unify.
I definitely do believe that Trump would run for re-election.
He's going to be old, though.
Yeah,
he's
he
like
would
74.
run for re-election.
Nah, but
so
you gotta.
I do understand why they're trying to impeach him, but then again, is it worth it? Because I don't know if many Americans, aside from those hardcore, diehard Trump supporters, would really go for that again.
But if you really think about it, like, let's say before all of this storming the Capitol stuff, coronavirus stuff, Trump had some die-hard supporters.
Oh, and he was, in the eyes of many, he was doing well.
He still has some die-hard supporters. Like, some Republicans are kind of like cutting ties, detaching themselves with affiliation from him. But still, like, Trump, he has even after everything he's done, he still has a big, like, support.
Because the problem is, and I don't know too much of what he's done economically, but I know that a lot of people agreed with him economically more than the Democrats. This is the hardest thing, because it seems to me, socially, Democrats are more inclusive, or the Democrat side, like, just how, this is how the political party's just been, like, formed. This is how it looks to most people. Socially, the Democrats are better because they are more inclusive. They care more about other people. All of that kumbaya. But on the conservative side, you don't get taxed as heavily, and you get to keep your money.
You get to keep the money you earned. You worked for.
Yeah, you worked for your money.
You worked for your money.
Some people, I want to get to the point in life where when I work, I'm not working for survival.
Yeah.
A lot of people work
financial freedom.
Yeah, financial freedom. A lot of people are working for survival. If they quit their job right now, they need another job within the next few weeks to a month, or they die. So a lot of people are working for survival, so they have to vote conservative because, dude, I want to keep my money.
Yeah, like, you have to also take into account what point is there to voting for the greater good if you aren't a part of that greater good.
Word.
Yeah.
Word. Exactly.
So I do understand where they're coming from, but
it's just it's a wild spectrum, man. It's a wild spectrum, man. I don't know where I'm going to be voting.
Politics really tiring.
I vote I'm eligible to vote a month from today. So if you remember the day that if you as viewers or listeners remember the day that we were recording, Emery said it earlier, then you know my birthday, my 18th birthday is exactly 1 month from this moment.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, man. Is there anything else we can really? Oh yeah, what do you guys think about our the scope? So like, how do we look to the rest of the world? Like, what is Germany or China or Japan?
America's a joke to the rest of the world.
It's a joke?
It's a joke.
It's been continually building up to that, but I think we're at the pinnacle of, ha, 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 look at them status.
Also, for a lot of countries in the world, us just, and we're not necessarily complaining, we're just talking about the state of our union, but a lot of people, because people complain about America a lot. And a lot of people from other countries laugh at us when we complain about America because, dude, especially for women, like, there's a large majority of the society that women can't look us in the eyes. We can't bring women on our podcast. Like, there's so many other parts of the world that they're still dealing with, like, these archaic just problems. And, like, I don't want to get into, like, communist parties and stuff like that, but like, people are like, they're still slaves, people are being beaten, people are human trafficking, all this stuff. So we still have a lot of freedom within our country. Our freedom is kind of flexing on us right now, and due to the algorithms and stuff, people are just like, we're just being more like, there's a lack of compromise. The more compromise we're able to have, the better we are as a country. And I mean, you said I had that American pride. Honestly, this is the only setting where I'm super patriotic. I really just think it's funny to talk about it like this. I just think it's comical, but like, yo, pull up. Like, Even if we're a joke.
Hey, what the
Pull
heck?
up, like,
bro, what's wrong with you, bro?
Nobody's
No.
checking America. Nobody is checking
You
America.
don't challenge them.
Who?
Cuban,
I don't-
Shall I remind you the Cuban Missile Crisis?
Hey,
Stop.
we're
Stop.
getting
Cuban
through
Missile
scientific
Crisis?
advancement.
If we have-
through scientific advancement, we're gonna deflect
If
those
we
damn
have any
missiles.
diplomats from other countries watching this, because I know we have that scope on the podcast. Don't
Pull
listen to him.
up.
No, don't listen to him at all.
Pull up.
At all. No, I think we're gonna end politics right there.
We are
Next
them
topic.
boys.
Stop. Next topic. Next
Look,
topic.
Okay, no. In all seriousness, don't pull up. I love my peaceful haven that we live in.
Yeah.
But I just think it's funny. Like it's like a little bit of flex that America does. Like,
I just want to say this one last thing on this topic of the perception of America.
yeah.
So I was talking to my cousin last night, and normally like people from other countries like they want to come to like he's about to graduate high school,
Yeah.
and a lot of people like come to America for education.
Right.
So I was asking him, I'm like, hey bro, like after you graduate high school, you think about coming to America? He was like, no, and that, and I'm like, whoa, that kind of surprised me because like everybody knows America's like it's known as like the greatest country in the world, and I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, why don't you want to come to America? He's like, bro, I see the stuff I'm seeing the stuff that's going on in America on TV, and that junk is craziness. Like where he is more peaceful
Okay.
than here.
Of course it is.
Absolutely. But
I stand on my claim that Canada is the most peaceful of countries.
Canada.
Canada.
I mean, it's
How
cold outside
cold you
now,
may
man.
be.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I think America, we definitely have our strong positives and our strong negatives.
All right, we're going on to the next topic. That
Next
politics
topic,
was a
baby.
really loaded topic, and we talk about it a lot. But here we go. Ernie, Breezy
Alright,
E,
So
what
the
do you got?
topic I'm bringing into the Enlightened Brothers today is the topic of finance. More specifically,
Whoa. Hold on, real quick. The first thing you said was you're a biomedical science major. So are you telling me right now you have like a multifaceted knowledge base? So you know more than biomedical
ladies,
science?
hit up my brother.
You know more than
Breezy E.
biomedical
Of
science. You know
course.
finance too.
Come on,
Finance is a-
He's
get
got
his sister-in-law.
money.
Come on.
He's got money.
don't hype it like that.
Let's get it on.
Man,
Let's
I need to
go.
come back on set more often. I like this environment. But anyway, so yeah, the topic of finance. So after the storming of the Capitol, the stock market, everything just went up. All the numbers are going crazy. I guess it's because of Joe Biden's presidency about to come. Like he gets inaugurated in 10 or 11 days, and all of the Democratic the Democratic companies that will benefit, well, not Democratic companies, all the companies that will benefit off of Democratic power, because as y'all know, I don't want to bring up politics again, but the Democrats just took control of the Senate.
Right.
So now the Democrats have the House, the Senate, and the White House. So in other words, they can pass anything they want.
Word.
So a lot of companies can benefit from that. So due to that, a lot of companies in the stock market, like the tech companies, the
That's what I like to hear.
marijuana companies, cannabis companies, everything's going up.
Wee.
And because of that, 2 days ago, your
Hey.
big old friend
Hey.
Elon Musk became the richest man in the world.
Check out the hat, baby.
Are
SpaceX, you already know we're up.
How are you feeling about that, Caleb?
King Elon. Okay, one thing we know about democracies is that they eventually lead to tyranny. And I'm not that big of a fan of tyranny, but if anybody has to be king, Elon, man.
Would you say?
I'm
Would
kidding.
you say?
I'm kidding. Eventually, it's gonna be me. So I'm telling you right now, I will enslave the entire human race.
I want to ask you this though, Caleb. I'm gonna ask
No, we're not letting him get away with that, bro.
Wait.
You be
Wait,
making
repeat
these
the
out of
argument.
pocket. You be making these out of pocket
you, wait,
comments
what did you
all
just
the
say about the
time.
human race?
I don't know. My code messed up. I'm sorry.
Oh, he's lagging.
That was a bug.
He's lagging.
That was a
Remember
bug.
this day.
Nah, but like I want to ask both of you guys this. Would you guys say that Elon Musk is the modern day Albert Einstein
Emery, go
or
first.
Stephen Hawking or whatever you perceive?
Yeah, big visionary.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. I think he's blazed the trail for dreamers. I won't attribute him to Einstein just yet, although I love Elon. What he's done is showed, honestly, like that's where I got my quote, because I tried to find, like, I have a quote that I said on a podcast, episode 11, but I couldn't find anybody else that had said this, so I guess it's my quote now. But I said, and it's simple, I said, in order to achieve your dreams, you must work tirelessly. I always say that, and hey, it's my quote, Caleb Newman, put it at the end. But
you made that up.
I made it. But
I'll put that on my wall.
Thank you. But so
Put that on my wall.
Anyway, he's really shown that essence. It's like coming from South America, although he's crazy smart, and I mean, to some people, high intelligence is alien. That's why people think Elon may be an alien. But like, he's shown that truly, if you work hard, you can go and get it. Like, he's the true story of that. But the only thing is, for him to be Einstein, like, Einstein changed the entire way we view the world.
He has to make a breakthrough that just changes how society
I feel
functions.
all right. What I can say about that is,
well, that hold on, that may be Neuralink. It may be Neuralink. It may be Neuralink. It may be Neuralink.
Not yet.
That's what that's kind of what I was about to say. He might not be at that level now, but he's certainly
his trajectory.
Yes, he's on the right path to, like, he's pushing like barriers that people thought were unbreakable.
Right.
I think Elon is he's the image of somebody who can do it all, per se, because
that's called a polymath.
He's a multifaceted person.
Elon.
And it begs the question, like, I hear people say a lot, like, you couldn't be president, you couldn't go to the NBA, or you couldn't do anything that's like beyond what society deems as up there.
Social gravity.
But why not me?
Yeah,
like, what makes somebody else special so you could say it's them, but you're not a fortune teller, so why not me?
Absolutely.
Why is it not possible for me to go out there and get it? Why is it not possible for me to put in the work? And why should it be possible for you to demean me and say what I'm capable of when you don't know my experiences, you don't know what I'm going to accomplish, and you don't know anything about me? Why not me?
And the great thing about this Enlightened Brothers experience, not only right now in this amazing episode 12 already, are you viewing 3 people that will get to that esteemed level one day and that will truly affect their world in their own ways. All of you listening right now, I also believe in that 100%. 100% I believe in that. Everybody who's listening right now and all of us up here, I truly believe they can all change the world. Episode 3, I said each and every one of you have had a world-changing thought at some point. And I truly believe that.
You just have to act on it.
You have to act on it. Execution is the number one thing.
Aside from our friends and family who view this, all of you that we don't know.
Yes.
Why not you either?
Yo,
I
shout
don't
out
know
to
your
Samantha, Sammy, Brittany Johnson. Like, we've had some real, like,
why not y'all?
Real followers, man, that comment every episode.
It's literally illogical to place somebody in a section where you say they're incapable of doing something
in a box, man.
When you don't know what goes on in their mind, you don't know what they're capable of, so why not them?
Absolutely.
Why not you?
I just want to take this time to say now, what you two boys are doing is groundbreaking.
Thank you, man.
Like, bro, y'all might not, I mean, y'all probably know what y'all are doing, but like, this is gonna be something like, this puts you on the path to do like things like you guys would have never thought of with your life.
Hey, regardless, because this is definitely not gonna happen because I'm that dude, Kayla's that dude, Ernie's that dude. Yeah. But if we fail to hit rock bottom, I wouldn't be ashamed of anything that we're saying now, even if we didn't achieve them. You know, because I firmly believe it now that it's possible and it's able to be achieved.
I agree. And sorry for cutting you off. But yes, you're absolutely right. We firmly believe it. Not only that, but we believe in what we're doing now. And just like Ernie said, and I do fear my mortality a little bit. And I'm not saying I'm going to die tomorrow.
Now you're going to live to 300, right?
But I'm going to live to 300. I say this all the time. Even Ernie knows. But even if something crazy happened, and since I'm going to be the one that escapes the simulation or the matrix, if they just pluck me off right now, I will be happy in the words that I've imparted onto whoever listens to us. I'm truly content in that.
And, you know, this podcast, you guys really should get to know us. So I will be let it known, although it should not influence you in any way, that I am a diehard Christian. And I do believe in heaven after earth.
Absolutely.
But, you know, I do fear death. Mm-hmm. A lot of people say you should live your life to the fullest no matter when you may die. But I do fear death because there are a lot of things I want to see. there are a lot of things that I want to experience on earth, and there are a lot of things that I want to do. So I don't want to die before I do those.
It's an inherent fear that we all have. Evolution, and we are animals. There's no animals that are just out there committing suicide. If we didn't fear death, then suicide wouldn't be something scary. Nobody would be. It wouldn't be an oddity among our community if there was no fear of death.
Ernie, what's that thing you always tell me about life?
Live your life to the fullest.
No, I just said that.
Like, what do you mean? What do I tell you about life?
He probably doesn't remember, but he says.
Life is short.
He said.
Everything's
said
a
that,
vibration.
I say a lot of
live
things
your
about
life
life.
every day, but you only die once.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
It's
Oh,
not
yeah,
YOLO.
I like that.
You live your life every day, but you only die once. And, death is something unknown to everybody on this earth right now. It's literally intangible for everybody. So, yeah, that fear of the unknown. Although I do know there's heaven, I haven't experienced what it'll be like. Life is all I know. So, for all I know, I want to make the best of what I do know. If that makes sense.
Couldn't have said it any better, man.
Wait, we got away from finance. What's going on?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Is there anything else within the finance that you wanted to bring up? Because, I mean, you already spurred a great topic.
We barely talked about the stock market.
Yeah, the
Give
stock
some
market.
trader tips, man.
Yeah.
Trader tips?
This is a living, breathing trader.
Living, breathing trader. I mean, based off all right, let me tell you why Elon became the richest person in the world. So a couple days ago, it's because of his Tesla stock in the market. A couple days ago, his Tesla stock was at around like $780, and the next day it shot.
Explain the dollars per share thing. Not everybody understands that, really.
All right, so
In layman's terms.
All right, dollars per share is basically a person's share price goes up when like good news happens surrounding the company, more people buy in. It's like a supply and demand thing. If like there's a certain amount of volume or a certain amount of like shares available,
Right.
and the more people that buy in, evidently the price of it goes up because it's more like harder to get.
Supply and demand.
Yeah, supply and demand. So Tesla has been like recently pushing boundaries, like announcing like some new stuff and some new visions that they want, and then people have been just feeding into it, investing into the stock because they see it to be very profitable and very like lucrative in the future. So a couple days ago, it was like a crazy day for Tesla. Tesla stock went up like $50 or $60 to about like $830, which pushed Elon Musk's net worth over Jeff Bezos. And me personally, I profited from that too because I day trade. I just started. I'm kind of new to this still, but it's a grind. I'm gonna learn. But like I day traded that Tesla stock that day, and I made some money from that too. So he made money. I made money. So everybody was happy.
Everybody's happy, man.
You feel me?
Except for Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. And it's inspiring too,
Yeah.
and especially for someone like you, because a thing about me and Ernie's friendship, we have sort of been on this entrepreneurial path for
Real grind.
how long has it been now?
Nearly a year.
Nearly a year, yes, absolutely. So we've been in this entrepreneur mindset, and originally we started at the same. It's interesting. We both started kind of near the same point,
Reading the same book. We started off reading the same book.
The Millionaire Fast Lane
by MJ DeMarco.
Yes. So we started right there from the same point, and we've just. I don't know. Life has taken us, and now we still are in the same realm, but we've kind of diverged a little way
on our own paths.
Right. So
in the same.
Right. He's in the trading and like more like money management and like into like super business. And while I've kind of divulged or not divulged, like I guess like gone away from business, pure business a little bit, and I've got more near like I don't know, making teleportation guns and like crazy stuff like that and code and stuff like that. But it's all within the same realm, man. It's absolutely
like what interests me, like as I said before, I'm a biomedical science major, but I also like finance as well. So like for me, I would like to mix the two, like pushing like technology business wise. Dang, you're gonna have to cut this. I'm studying too much.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so for me, it's like mixing the both, like a medical business, mixing the two, and like having like using both of my strong suits as one.
Well,
And, that's something Elon Musk did.
yeah, absolutely. And there is something you can do. Episode 5. It was called "What Is Humanity?" It was
That's my favorite episode.
It was me and Emery's first. It's our first true epic battle on this podcast, and possibly one of our most epic battles of all. Actually, undoubtedly our most epic battle. And we talked about this technology called CRISPR. And I don't want to get too far into it, but what Ernie is doing, what Ernie is doing with the infusion of biotech and biomed, going into biotech and business, he could take advantage of CRISPR, and that's like the gene editing thing we were talking about episode 5. So look, right now, if you are into like biomedical science and stuff, and if you want to live longer or change your genes or all those possibilities, and you're new, go listen to episode 5, because that's like a really good episode about that stuff.
One thing for me is I don't like that the world is run on money at all. And money can get you a lot of things. People say money can't buy you happiness, but if you're a vain and material person, it can definitely. Definitely. But I need to get money, so I might start going into this trading or just a business aspect, because for my goals and dreams of the future, money is necessary. However, I may not like it. And, I hope I can use that money to make it money less necessary.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense now, but it will. And I firmly believe that.
The crazy thing is, our world does fundamentally run on money a little bit. But also with the advent of the algorithms and social media, our world kind of runs on time also. With anybody who you think of that makes the most money, just even like, so there's two different people. You could say somebody who owns Facebook, Zuck. He has more money because people stay on his screen for longer.
Yeah.
And he has the ads. That's a function of the more time he gets, the more money he's having.
He has time work for him.
Time works for him, exactly. Or Jeff Bezos, Amazon. Man, people spend dang near all day on Amazon. They're putting a lot of time into Amazon. So, like, yeah, we run on money, but we also, like, run on time, too. Like,
that's what you call passive income for these entrepreneurs.
Passive residual income. Mm-hmm. Make money in your sleep.
In your sleep, baby.
Ain't that the goal?
Yeah.
Future, you dreaming about cats. And you hundreds of billions, not hundreds of millions of dollars floating into your pocket.
Yeah, man.
Your net worth going up, your respect going up, you snoozing.
That's the goal, and that's what I said earlier. A lot of people work for survival. I want to just be able to live life. And I have multiple life paths that I may decide to go on. But one path is truly finding the underlying, source of the underlying order of our reality. And that's what we're going to talk about as the next topic. But I want to truly live life and be able to go on that path. But a lot of people have to work for survival. So that passive income, that's when you're starting to go over the bridge from working for survival for working to live, man.
For anyone stuck with a 9-to-5 and they want to do things better,
just break free from the rat race.
Just you think any king, any monumental leader in the world, or anyone that provoked a great change had no vision and didn't believe in themselves? I think dreamers are the greatest of all when it comes to possibly being able to accomplish something groundbreaking.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't have the vision, you can't make it a reality.
Mm-hmm. And within that dreaming, it's truly breaking free of the social gravity. And it's not placing negatives on other people, but it's following what you believe your path to be. Wherever we take our lives, you have to be sure in your decisions. Be it that they may be right or wrong. If they're wrong, you learn from it. If you're right, you move on to the next level in life. But it's truly believing in what you want to do.
And, a lot of people are scared to take that next step because of the uncertainty of where you'll end up.
Exactly.
But isn't that how you've been living your life each and every day?
No, there's no reward has been given without risk.
Absolutely. And personally within my life, I can attribute to it. A lot of people around me originally wanted me to go into engineering or something, a degree that gets directly transferable to a job. And one of my application essays, quick side note, a big reason why we weren't recording is because I was swamped with application essays. So for Cornell University, I wrote in my essay, a big problem, especially in the black community, is People going for majors that are just directly transferable to a job. Maybe I don't want to be a mechanic or what do those people do that burn tools? Welder, yeah. Or maybe I don't even want to be a doctor. A lot of people pushed me to be a doctor early in my life. Dude, I don't even like blood. I don't want to be a doctor. So things like that, it's like eventually we need to get to a point where you choose whatever you want to study. You choose something that's going to enlighten your entire life. That we're the Enlightened Brothers. That's the whole point of the name of the show. It's going to truly like lift the essence of the way in which you're living, because knowledge is power. The things that you are learning, things that you are truly excited to learn, because you can learn anything at anywhere. You don't even have to go to college. Dude, I learned most of my knowledge from the internet. Like, you don't even have to go to college. There's so many things, but you just have to learn, because that is human essence anyway. We are blessed with this beautiful brain. Our essence is to learn things that are that truly make you happy. And since you need money, you turn what you love into money. That's the whole point.
If I could make a top 10 most true quotes that have ever been spoken in human history, I think top 3 would probably be, one of them would be knowledge is power.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
That holds, like, there is no way you can refute that whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why, I mean, my intended major is physics, because I love talking about all this stuff. And I'm going to also add in I'm going to try to bridge physics and computer science, because I also love AI. But, I mean, we talk about, you could argue that our entire podcast is a philosophy podcast. Mm-hmm. So I may do some of that stuff. And neuroscience with Neuralink and stuff like that. There's so many different things that, like, you just go for what you love, man. If you love Rubik's Cubes, man, start a YouTube channel where you start doing some crazy tricks with Rubik's Cubes, and you oil those little trinkets. And, like, there's so many things you can love, man. If you love cardboard boxes, build a house out of cardboard. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's doing what you love, man. Stop. And especially, we might have a lot of viewers that are around our age. I mean, you do have to listen to your parents, but, like, at the same time, you're never going to reach that pinnacle in life. And the pinnacle is different places. Forbes list doesn't have to be your pinnacle. Your pinnacle is where you are in a state of pure elation. But when you reach where that pinnacle is, it, like Ernie said, it doesn't come without risk. You need to take risks.
Ernie, you got anything financial related to close out the...
No, man, this is a philosophy podcast, bro. We can't stay on
I think pretty much everything that needs to be said has been said.
Yeah, man.
Well, let's move into the final topic on the first episode of the year. Caleb, break it down.
You already know. I was itching to do this topic, and as we speak, we are about, without the editing, we're about 48 minutes into speaking. And, as an episode, we owe myself a little bit more, because, some people may not stay for the entire episode. And this topic, I really hope that people stay to be here.
This
is why.
Hold on.
What?
You said some people might not stay for the entire episode.
Oh, secret
for
message.
Those who did.
Secret message. Secret message.
Ernie, you the guest speaker. Excuse me.
Yeah, what's the secret message?
Who was the richest person in the world? I mean,
yeah. So it's sort of a quiz. Don't say that. If you were listening, who became the richest person in the world? Comment that person's name.
Yeah. All right, too long for a secret message. Go. What's the topic?
So now, the topic. As I was saying, I'm mad that my science topic doesn't go first, because we usually go first. But I am reopening a topic of the past, because while me and Emery have been on hiatus, I have sort of taken my being to the next step. And just, my mind is always bent on this topic, and I just wanted to talk about it. I prepared a few notes, but I don't have a good way of opening this, because it's just, there's so many different things. So I will open it with a question to, I guess, catalyze our discussion. So I'll ask our guest, what do you know anything about our subjective reality? Or what is your view on reality? It's not really a good question to ask. I'll put it this way. What is your view on the world of our purpose, I guess? What is the reason for our universe?
The reason, our personal reason, or our reasons.
Do you know anything about how we came to be?
How we came to be?
Yeah.
We're talking biblically.
It could be biblically, it could be Big Bang. I'm just trying to see what you think.
Whatever
for the
you
viewers.
believe.
Yeah, what do you believe?
Humans are meant for.
I believe God created heaven and the earth.
Okay. Yes, and a lot of people
simple
believe
enough.
that. Absolutely. Okay. Well, I guess I'll open it this way. So episode 10, just a quick recap. I told everybody about our quantum world. And I basically told everybody that we do not share the same reality. Our reality is purely a neural function. Anything that you can think, anything that you feel, anything that you would call reality, our universe, is processed through our five senses in our neural interworkings, right? Everything we perceive is a neural function. So as soon as I learned that, I was already skepticized. Because if I am controlled by this brain which isn't all mine, this brain which has been evolutionary developed over millions and thousands of years, what if my brain is missing something? That was the first thing that kind of led me here. My brain must be missing something. Then I came into the quantum realm. I became acclimated with quantum physics, and I began to I came across this thing called superposition. Are you familiar with superposition?
No.
Okay, so quick thing. We'll just do the Schrodinger's cat thing again. So a state of superposition, let's say there was a cat in a box with a bomb. And this box it cannot be broken. You cannot see inside the box. Nothing comes out of the box. If that bomb blows up, what do you think happens?
And the cat is inside?
Yeah, if that bomb blows up, what happens?
Cat dies.
You do not know that. You have no way of knowing until you observe the cat. This is the universe that we have been that we now know that we are subject to. I really encourage you to listen to episode 10 because I break it down even further. But you are in a state of superposition. That cat, it's dead and alive at the same time. You do not know. This is the quantum mechanical world that we have found to see. With the advent of quantum mechanics and the wave function and all this stuff, we know that you do not know. Now, let's take this thought experiment a step further. Let's say there's a big box. There's a bomb, a cat, and a man. So the cat and the bomb are in a see-through box. The man is observing it, but he's also in a room, or he's also in a box. And then you're
a separate box.
And then, or no, he's like, it's like I don't even, it's hard to explain. I really need a picture, but it's a cat and the bomb in a see-through box. That man can see what happens to the cat, but nothing happens to him. So the man stays alive. And then outside of that box is you, and you talk, and you know the man's in there, but you still don't know. The bomb blows up, right? So the man observes either the cat dies or the cat alives. Yeah. We know that usually the cat dies because that's what we've subjectively agreed upon. That's just what we decided was our reality. That if a bomb detonates, a cat's going to die. We decided that. Right. And it generally happens, right? So, but there's still a state of superposition. The man doesn't know what the other man has seen until, even if because he can't hear him. He can't be like, the man can't be like, oh, the cat died. Like, no. It's still in a superposition of states. Now the states are, it could be the cat didn't die, the man saw that the cat didn't die, so he doesn't know that. Or it could be the cat dies, or the man couldn't have even seen it. It's hard to explain. I'm sorry, but like it's like double superimposed. Like you don't know. So now basically what I'm trying to say is you disagree. So let's say we collapse, because this is something called like collapsing the superposition, right? Yeah. So the man sees the cat dies, but the other man outside the box does not know whether or not yet the cat has died. So it's in a state of superposition. That instance is where we disagree among our realities. That instance is where me and you disagree.
So in layman's terms, like when at a point where a decision is being made, and like it makes a monumental curve in like what the direction of reality would become.
Exactly. What you're describing right now is the double slit experiment. I'll put a picture up here again right above Ernie's head. But I talked about the double slit experiment last time where and I don't want to describe it again, but basically it showed our observation determines what an event does. So you can think of any event it may not even happen. It doesn't happen unless we observe it.
Exactly.
Other than that, it's in a state of
Like
superposition.
what happened? Like in a game, like NPCs, they'll see your character die, but then it just goes back to the point before that. And you restart the mission. But let's say the mission didn't restart and the game continued, but those NPCs just continued their normal functions.
Exactly.
Of course, they observed it through their eyes, but there was no note being made of it. It didn't affect their lives in any way, so they just carried on.
Exactly, and we're about to go into simulation theory. But within that, there's also the thought experiment. So I've developed a whole bunch of subjective thoughts. I wish we had more time, and this wasn't at the end of an episode. We're going to do another episode about subjective reality because this is my bread and butter. But I developed a whole bunch of subjective thoughts. Is there anything else that baseline I need to give? I said there's a neural projection. I said the observation of states. Oh, and also special theory of relativity shows that we don't experience time the same. You may think that we're all in a universal clock, and Emery even did in episode 10. He was like, I snapped. Did we all agree that snap happened at the same time? But there's no state of absolute there's no such thing as anything being simultaneous. And we also experience time different. I said the faster you move through the faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. Yeah. So I talked about that. I don't have to go back into that. So now that we have the baseline, I've developed a whole bunch of queries to the universe is what I call them. So the first one, if a tree falls and nobody is around to hear it, does it make a sound? What do you guys think?
Yes.
If a tree falls and nobody's around, does it make a sound?
This is if you believe the world, or the flow of the world is consistent regardless of it, even if it's perceived, which I agree with.
Exactly. So you are among you attribute yourself to the objective reality. You believe that we all live within this one reality. I'm here to tell you, brother, there's too many things that have shown that we don't. But we all... It's just we have been conditioned to agree so much with each other. So everything that happens, we agree on it deeply.
So basically, everybody's living in their own simulation?
Everybody's living in their own universe.
So perhaps I'm recording this episode today, but currently Caleb's in his room tomorrow editing it.
Oh, gosh, you might be breaking. Yes, you could say that. That's you breaking from the constraints of time. I want to talk about that later. We just don't have enough time to talk about it.
Like parallel universe, like the parallel universe and stuff?
I believe in many worlds interpretation. So this many worlds interpretation is when there's the superposition of states, right? So I always use this. Say you're proposing to some lady, right?
Yeah.
You get down on one knee, you show the ring. Before she says yes or no, I believe that there's a universe in which she says yes.
Different scenarios.
Yes. I believe there's a universe in which she says yes and a universe in which she says no.
And, like, you could also think about it like this. Like, before you do something, like, all right, so if each action opens other doors to other
butterfly
effect. You collapse the superposition and you go right back into more superposition.
Like for example, like if I say, like, for example, yes or no, if she would have said yes, after saying yes, there's a whole bunch of other options.
Exactly.
That could, like, after you go through this door, then you get married.
Right.
Or if she would have said no, your whole life could have changed.
Exactly.
You'd probably break up with her.
Exactly.
Start dating other girls. Like, there's, like, different paths you can go through that will completely change the path of how your life goes.
Absolutely. And I don't know everything about many worlds interpretation, but the many worlds interpretation is that all of those decisions create another parallel universe that we can't realize because we are four-dimensional beings. I talk about space-time. We have X, Y, Z, height, width, depth, and time. Those are the four dimensions we can perceive. I'm a lover of string theory. String theory says we live within 10 dimensions. So the fact that we can't perceive all 10 of those dimensions, what I learned this morning was that if we were 10-dimensional beings, we would basically know everything. That 10th dimension is the landscape that is time. That 10th dimension shows that because that is assuming that everything is predetermined. Mm-hmm. And once you reach that 10th dimension, you now have the whole landscape of time as your arsenal.
This is a bit confusing, but I don't think that we could ever, if there was any scientific concept that we could understand, I don't think this is one of them.
Oh, the 10th dimension?
If we did, let's say that we do understand and we're able to perceive all the realities that are not our own, wouldn't that just open infinitely more realities that we can perceive.
Exactly.
And it would just be limitless.
It would be. I understand what you're saying. It kind of would be, but at the same time, it's embedded within us as humans. We can't break past it unless we break out of the simulation. Like, we can't perceive these 10 dimensions. We have to mathematically find it out, whether it's an AI or whether it's a human that mathematically determines it, because we can't necessarily experience it. It's like no, I don't want. That's a whole nother explaining.
Do
thing.
y'all believe, like, I forgot what the exact percentage was, but do y'all believe, like, it says I think it was like 5%, we can only like use 5% of our brain?
I'm a little iffy on that. I agree that we don't use there's probably a section of our brain that we don't always
That's
use,
dormant.
but at the same time, like, it could just be background calculation. Like, what we have to process this whole reality, especially which I believe that we live among subjective realities, for us to have so much power to sort of live among this one radio wave that we all agree on, that takes a lot of power in that. So I don't know. I'm not a neuroscientist, but yeah. Yeah. So now I want to go into some other questions. So if all humans were blind, color and depth perception would be meaningless. So if all humans were born blind, like, what do you think would happen? Like, that would change everything that we perceive.
Perception wouldn't even be perception.
Right. we would describe our world with touch and smell and taste.
But I feel like if that were the case, like, since the beginning of time, because, you know, humans have definitely evolved in their senses and their functions, that we would gain another type of sight. Because you do believe, you hear sometimes that people say blind people can see more than those with actual sight. Yeah. Because since they're lacking a sight, they're reliant, and they focus more on one thing, which might be their scent or their sense of touch, so they gain more clarity in that specific sense.
So you believe we'll develop more now?
Maybe
through evolution.
Through evolution. Now, the crazy thing is, we talk about aliens sometimes. Why, as humans, do we assume that they have all the 5 senses we have? They might have some ultra-developed sense that they might be able to live among as 5-dimensional beings. If they were 5-dimensional beings, if they saw us, they would step on us like ants.
Perhaps there's like a vibrational sense.
They could have
they could be here right now.
They could be here right now, and
we
cannot observe it because we only have these 5 senses. That's what I'm saying. Our whole reality is this big sponge in our brain.
You know what they're saying right now? They're thinking they're good, or maybe they're not even thinking.
Or they're not. Or
maybe thinking is not one of their senses.
Right. It's just as likely that they're super intelligent that they have the intelligence as an ant. So we don't know. But yeah, that's a crazy thing. Another thing. So since we know that our reality functions purely through our minds, why do we exclude? Or I'll just read it verbatim. Why do we exclude things from reality that our brain creates, such as dreams and hallucinations, right? So if everything that we see right now is purely from our mind and we're just agreeing on it, the only reason why dreams or hallucinations aren't real
is because other people don't agree on it.
Exactly.
That makes sense, because perhaps a dream is your experience in an alternate world, and maybe we're plane jumping.
Oh, okay. So can you blame somebody for killing if they hallucinated? Obviously, yes, because we just decided to agree among this objective reality. But that's truly a mind-bending thing. Now, on the subject of dreams, I really want to get into the simulation theory. So, possibly the best movie about simulations you could ever watch is The Matrix. I'm going to quote something verbatim, and I just talked about a dream. So this is a direct quote from The Matrix. The guy was talking to Neo. He said, "Have you ever had a dream you were so sure was real? Well, what if you were unable to wake from that dream? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world?" So
I heard some people say, what if reality was a dream, and when you dream is the only time you go to actual reality?
That could be the case, but since you kind of float aimlessly during dreams, well, because we don't remember it when we wake up fully, it could be that is our real.
Yeah.
So that is 100% sure, but maybe it could be both.
Perhaps this could be an explanation for the deja vu phenomenon too, because an experience in a dream Because you ever realize that you forget your dreams, although you're experiencing them for however long you're sleeping? How does that make sense?
Yeah.
You forget those dreams.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. No,
Perhaps they were experiences, and the little things that you feel in our actual real world when you're awake are tidbits of what you experience.
The time perception in the dream is different from real life. Like, I've had some dreams, I swear the dream only lasted 5 minutes in my head, but when I woke up, I slept through the whole night.
Exactly. So we could just be asleep. Like, we could forget the whole part where we go to work in the day, and that's actual real life, if you're saying our dream could be our real life. But, like, it's crazy how we decide to exclude things like dream from being reality. We kind of have to, or we would live in a world where nobody agrees about anything.
Right.
So I'm glad a lot of people don't know about this subjective reality thing, because they'll just say, oh, in my reality, da-da-da-da. Anyway, I'd like to talk about the mathematical likelihood of simulation. And on this podcast, I don't really bring in religion as much, because I feel like my co-host and now Ernie, they both bring in the religious perspective. Although I believe in what I believe in, it's not really my role on this podcast. So I'm just giving the pure scientific point of view. So when you think about the simulation theory, there's two probabilities. The first probability, when we think about simulations, there's an original species, right? They create a simulation. That simulation creates another simulation. We know that because we're trying to simulate universes. That universe simulates another one, and so on and so on and so on, infinite. So, mathematically, is it more likely that we are in the original universe, or we are in the infinite other universes?
I mean, based off what you just said, it would be infinite.
Right. Mathematically, it's more probable that we're in the simulated universes. But an amazing guy had this sentiment. We haven't simulated any other universe that has created another universe yet. We're not near that technology yet. So this is why I marked down a 50-50 shot. Right? It could possibly be that there's a 50% chance that we are the original universe, or since that we haven't simulated anything yet, we're in one of the universes that hasn't had the technology to simulate yet. So that takes it from a 1 to billion chance from a 50-50 shot. But yeah, so
where do you stand on that?
Where do I stand? I honestly don't know. The simulation theory is a little bit comforting, just because if our religious beliefs were wrong and there is no God, if I die, I don't want to be nothing. So the simulation gives me hope that maybe when I die, I just come to the real world or something.
I mean, that would go along with the law of conservation of energy.
Well, that's true, but the law of conservation of energy, if we're a simulation, that's just the rule they put into the simulation.
Also, okay.
Caleb, are you aware of any scientific explanation for souls?
For souls? No. And that's kind of what I want to go into. I want to be able to see if there's some, because the good thing about my scientific approach is that I come from a religious background, so I'm able to bridge both religion and science. A lot of people that are in the scientific realm right now, they don't even believe in a soul, really. Yeah. They believe that we function purely through our brain. So, no, unfortunately, I don't know anything about that. But I do want to talk about just like some of the ways that it shows that a simulation is likely, right? First, I'll talk about the observer effect. The observer effect is the double slit experiment that I talked about a while ago. It's that you need to observe something for it to be real, right? So for any phenomena to happen, you need to observe it. That's why I brought
see it to believe it.
You have to see it to, right. So that's why I brought up the tree thing. If there's nobody there to observe the sound, does the tree even make a sound? No. You have to kind of divulge from sound to hearing, because some people will say, well, the tree makes this ripple in the air, so that's going to be the sound anyway. But I mean, nobody hears it, so if you don't hear it, is there a sound? Like, there's lots of things, and if we were born deaf, would there ever be sounds?
That's like along, like let's say the nature or something, like for example the tree.
Yeah.
They act a certain way while people are looking.
Right.
But who's to say they're not doing something else when nobody's looking.
Exactly.
That's the whole plot of Toy Story, though.
Right.
Yeah, Toy Story stuff.
And that's the whole thing about simulation. And ever since Toy Story, I started thinking about when I get, and these aren't toys, but I thought, like, if nobody's home, are my dogs just, like, sipping coffee and, like, doing stuff.
Walking around
on, like, 10 feet,
yeah.
stuff like that. Like, anything's possible. But, like, so in this observer effect, right, we say that we have to be observing anything for it to be real, right? So through that door right there, the viewers can't see, but I'm pointing to a door right now. We are not 100% certain that anything through that door is real. So that could be a way to save power. If we are in a simulation, it could be that perhaps that they use this, because we know that there can't be infinite computing power. Right. So they could have developed it. They could have embedded it into the code that since you need to observe things to be real, that what's outside of your five senses isn't real, and then it just uploads as soon as you observe it.
My thing is with this, I just feel like, opposed to other sciences, this is almost like a pseudoscience. Because I don't know if there's any data that could be collected unless there were ways to confirm that existence.
Well, okay,
this is all like pretty speculative,
right? And there is science to back it, but it's more so of we're relating all of the scientific things that pervade our universe, because we're trying to come up
and make it make sense.
Right, we're trying to make it make sense because we're trying to come up with a theory of everything. We want to make an equation that is on one piece of paper that describes our entire universe. That is the number one
MC squared.
Right, that is the number one goal of physics. So to do that, one of the rationalizations is simulation theory. So we see a whole bunch of commonalities. We see a whole bunch of these recurring themes that kind of show us that it may be a simulation. I talked about the observer effect. It's a way to save power. The next one is our DNA is similar to computer code. Why do we have CRISPR? It's because CRISPR is a way to program something, put it into your body, edit the DNA code, because we know we have the acetazine, oh God, you should know this. Acetazine, glitazine, whatever. The AGT, whatever. The way that
in the strands of your DNA.
The strands of your DNA. That's the same way as like the zeros and ones of computer code, kind of. Instead of binary, it's the 4. So our DNA is similar to computer code. Another reason why the simulation could be real. Why are there no aliens? It could be that when civilizations, or why haven't we seen aliens yet? This is assuming that we haven't seen aliens. It could be that when civilizations get advanced enough, they just escape the simulation. Or we're the only beings being simulated, and there's just nothing else out there.
Or maybe aliens are not like what people think of these big green monsters.
They're not. I'm sure they're not.
Like aliens they might not even be a physical.
Yeah, like I
physical
said,
thing we see.
We were talking about maybe that there's more dimensions than we could see.
Yeah.
They could just they could exist on 2 dimensions, and the aliens are like shadows.
Yeah, that's
because
what
our
I'm
shadows
saying.
are 2 dimensions, right?
Spiritual.
Right, or they could be 6-dimensional, and we can't even perceive them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. And then another thing is purpose. Why are we simulated? We could be simulated to achieve a goal. I thought about this while talking to my coworker one random day. And it's amazing how, I don't know how it just came to my head, and I saw this in a video that confirmed my thought. We could have a purpose. In physics right now, we're trying to come up with the theory of everything. We could be simulated because whatever civilization that simulated us, they don't know the theory of everything. So they're just like, oh, we'll create a simulation. Let's see if these guys figure it out.
Yeah,
so we could be
we're the code.
Yeah.
And it's just it's an infinite cycle as we're trying to progress our technology to figure out the things that maybe are not capable by the human mind.
Because we have code, and maybe, we could be the other civilization's code.
And that code will make its code.
Right.
The process continues.
Or our purpose could be solving climate change. Like there's so many different things. It's just simulation theory. It's just, honestly, at the end of the day, whether it's true or not, it just gives us something nice to think about. This is like the essence of humanity. It's good to basically flex our brain. All in all, Ernie has to go. He has to go back to Orlando, unfortunately. So we have to end this thing sooner. But you better believe that we're going to have a whole much more developments of simulation theory, because I'm going to do a lot more studying, and we're going to have a whole bunch more episodes about simulation. Anyway, to bring it to a close.
Yeah, we hope you guys really enjoyed how we brought the year into you guys. We really apologize for not being able to close out last year as we hoped.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think personally that this is a great episode for you guys to hop back in on us. Pause.
Yeah, you can definitely. This is definitely an introducible episode because we talked about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I did want to close the simulation theory.
Open Pandora's box.
Yeah, we did close the simulation. I did want to close the simulation topic just by saying this: whether we live in a simulation or not. If you watch Matrix, you may know who Neo is. And if there is a simulation, I do aspire to be Neo. I will break out. If this is a simulation, whoever the moderators are up there that are watching us.
Or below.
Or
inside of us. Who knows? Pause.
I'm breaking free, baby. Like, but yeah, there's a lot more to come. I definitely want to talk about this more. So trust me, we're going to talk about science every week. So.
Yeah,
man, it's been a pleasure being on the show, on y'all podcast.
Hey, don't give a conclusion yet, because if you're a new viewer, we got a little tradition that I'm sure we're gonna keep up for the rest of this year. And that is what I'm best known for, aside from my appearance, my freestyling skills.
Okay.
So, give me a beat. And since it's the first episode of 2021, we're gonna do a little spin on it. We're all gonna give a little freestyle. I'm going to go first. Ernie's going to give me the beat. Yeah. I'm going to pass it off to Ernie. I'm going to continue the beat.
I'm just the beat maker as the guest.
No. He going to freestyle too.
Start the beat, Ernie.
Come on.
Boots and cats and 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 boots.
I'm not vibing with boots and cats.
I don't know, bro.
Yeah. Emery on the beat. 2020 came to a close. 2021, yeah, man, we got all the beep.
What?
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
I thought you said we got all the clothes.
2021, we got all the clothes. And I'm about to pick out my fro with my main man, Ernie, because he's the bro.
Yeah. Okay. I'm the bro you already know. It was nice being on this little show. Unfortunately, it's coming to a close.
Okay.
Keep on viewing. You already know.
Yeah.
Pass it to my bro, Caleb. You run the show.
Let me feel the beat, man. All right. Come on. Yeah. Hey, turn me up. Come on, let's go. Get hype. Come on, let's go. Let's get hype. Yeah. Okay. I'm feeling this thing, man. Yeah, let's vibe. Hey, okay. Yeah. You already know? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm feeling it. Okay. Yeah. Did you seriously think I was gonna freestyle? Dude, no.
That's the longest intro in the world, bro.
Dog, we
ended.
We ended with a buzzkill.
You know I like to sing, man. Like, bro, I'd rather end it with a song. I want to sing a song, man. I'm a singer. I'm not a rapper.
So are you going to? Or are you going to talk?
Let's see. What song can we sing together, man? We usually sing Michael Jackson. Oh, say, can you see? I'm kidding, bro. What the heck? No,
Hey,
bro.
I'm on whatever. Bro.
Real patriot shining through, bro.
I was kidding.
We're going to hit y'all with the smooth vocals.
Oh, yeah. Wait, actually, I don't know how the song starts. How does the song start?
Ding, 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 ding. No.
Crap.
Just say if it isn't love.
Yeah, okay. My hands are frozen, bro. I can't even do it. But, all right.
Are y'all ready for this?
All right.
If it isn't love, why do I feel this way? Why does she stay on my mind?
Yeah.
If it isn't love, why does it hurt so bad? Make me feel so sad inside. If it isn't love,
baby, now.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes,
If it
Lord.
is love,
First mode. Oh yeah. Yes, sir.
That was tight. That was tight. Come on. That was tight. That was tight. Give me some. That was tight.
Man.
Look, man. So,
Great times.
as our closing, what do you think about the Enlightened Brothers podcast?
Bro, I've been a supporter since day one. It was actually like an honor finally be a part of the whole show, the whole thing. And hey, man, y'all are on to something
This
great.
is
If
we ever have a recurring guest, I think he's gonna be the most recurring
Absolutely.
that we're gonna have on the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
But we really appreciated having you here.
Yes, sir, man. I'm glad
Thank you.
to be here.
Thank you so much, man.
And thank you
I'm
guys
always
as
tuned in.
well. If you've watched to the end, gotta do the standard YouTube stuff because we need to get it out there.
Yeah, man.
Please
Share
leave
it
a
to
like,
your friends. You
leave
know,
a
this
like,
is great content.
subscribe.
Yeah.
You know, if you're on the Apple Podcast or Spotify or whatever other platform you may be on, please come to YouTube or shoot us an email at our email because we love interacting with you guys.
Absolutely. You
I
can
think
email us anytime.
Our main goal of this podcast this year is gonna really build our community.
Yeah, and connect
because
to people.
we just want to get all our feelings out there, and we want you guys to be heard too, so we can address you on the podcast, and we can just make a enlightened family.
Yeah. 2 more things. First, Ernie also has a YouTube.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
yeah,
one.
We'll plug that in the description.
Yeah,
of
we'll
the
put
YouTube
that in the
video.
description below.
YouTube channel Breezy E.
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, Breezy E. So that's he does great stuff. He's had videos with thousands of views. So
Yeah.
definitely check out his channel. He has a lot of good stuff there. And the other thing I wanted to say, I have to say this on every episode. I forgot to say it. So just remember, and if you're new, go back in other episodes to really find the reason of this. But I have to say this on every episode. As humanity, we must get past the great filter. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. Go back in our episodes, find out what I'm talking about. We must get past the great filter.
I forgot. Usually, if you're a long-time viewer, you know we do a debate at the end of or towards the end after we finished all our main topics.
Oh, yeah.
But we wanted to do a little flip on this episode, so we'll give a poll in the comment section down below. We'll give you 3 options of what you want us to do continuing on in the future. Maybe we'll keep on doing this every couple of episodes, but the most liked comment that we leave down there is what we'll do in the next video.
Right.
So
be
sure to interact with us.
Right, because we also had an idea of doing games and stuff like that. So, yeah, we'll definitely put a poll down there. So, please comment. But I feel like I say this every time, but, man, it's just a blessing. It's absolutely a blessing. I'm thankful for this platform. I'm thankful to do what we do because
You guys have a voice.
and when I have a voice, and when I think of what gives me the most joy, it's podcasting, or whether I'm out at school or whether I'm at home talking to my people or when I'm anywhere, it's having these conversations like this, breaking down the philosophy, the science, the humanities, all this stuff, just these conversations. And at the end of the day, communications, that's the essence of humanity, man.
Yeah.
But
So thank you, Ernie, for coming out here.
Yeah, man,
for
for
the
the
final words of this first podcast.
yeah, man.
I just really want to say, man, 2021.
2021, baby.
All right, guys.
I mean, look, it's been great.
Thank you.
Man, you already
Plenty
know
of
what it
episodes
is.
to come. We love y'all.
Love
And
y'all.
we're swimming.
See you.
Peace. Yes, sir.
If I keep my feet planted to the earth, cause the people that hurt can understand it. You speaking outlandish, I'ma show you how to make it all work. Another planet, it's a short-term goal for me.